What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Gotta Watch 'Em All, episode number 42. I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, as always, Adam Tuttle. Adam, what's going on, man?
Not too much, just chilling out, getting ready to podcast for you lovely people.
Yes. Today is Thursday, March 8th, 2018. It's been a while since we've recorded a Gotta Watch 'Em All episode. We've kind of been...
It has been a hot minute.
We've been focusing a little bit on our Lured Up podcast, which is the Pokémon GO show that we do that comes out on Tuesdays. And we did I've been doing some back end work with the brand. So we got a lot of stuff going on, but we're going to do our best to get back on track with getting these shows out every week.
Yeah, but, I was sick that one week and then you were stuck at work. So, just timing. And then also crazy weather.
It's, we're experiencing we had like a major snowstorm in the Northeast this week. So it was like getting to work today stunk. And, it has been crazy. So apologize for inconsistencies on this show. Also,
we're coming back.
Yes. And another thing to announce, on this feed, we used to have the Gotta Watch 'Em All show and the Lured Up show on this same feed. We've now moved Lured Up to its own feed. So this feed that you're listening to the show on now is going to be exclusively for this show, for just the Gotta Watch 'Em All podcast. So if you're here before Lured Up, if you're here after Lured Up, thanks so much. We really do appreciate that you guys are here. And, this is, it's awesome. So let's get back on this wagon here. Let's start talking about Pokemon Go. Community Day number 2 was Dratini. It happened at the end of February. They've announced Community Day number 3, which is going to be Bulbasaur. And that's going to be on Sunday, March 25th, which I'm very excited about because it's a Sunday. But I am so gassed up. Like I haven't been able to experience the previous 2 community days because I've worked. So I've been able to play, but kind of half-heartedly, But this one, I'm ready to grind.
You're going all in.
Dude, I'm going all in, and you're coming to Jersey.
Ooh, yeah.
No, it's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait to have you back down here.
I'm so excited.
I think what we're going to end up doing is going to Red Bank Battlefield in National Park, New Jersey. So it's, what my restocking place that I've talked about on the show before is the city of Red Bank, which is like 10 minutes from my house. But there's a park called Red Bank Battlefield, which the name of the city is actually National Park, New Jersey, which is just over the bridge from Philadelphia. So I want to go to this park. It's known as a Pokemon Go hotspot since the game launched. I went there once. I was in Philly for business, and I took one night and went over the bridge back into Jersey and played there. I caught 2 Snorlax, 2 Lapras in one visit. Yeah, like the place is a complete hotspot. It doesn't make any sense. There's been a lot of unknown caught there, and it's a beautiful park. It's historic. It's right on the waterfront there. It's really cool. So I think that's where we're gonna end up going when you come down. It's about an hour and a half away, but it's well worth the trip. I think that's where we're gonna end up going.
Awesome. And we'll have a vlog for that too.
Yes. And then on top of all this, with the Community Day announcement, we are still in the Rayquaza raid boss cycle. So Rayquaza is going to be here through March 16th, and a lot of stuff has been going on in the world of Pokemon Go. Check out the Lured Up show if you want to hear more details on that. But right now we have double XP. We've got special raid bosses. We got special eggs hatching. There's so much going on in that game. They've been doing a rock star job with content and getting this stuff out. And I've been as excited as ever to play Pokemon Go. So it's awesome.
I know Rayquaza hasn't even ended, and they just keep handing us stuff. Like,
I know.
Here's these super incubators. Like, what?
Yeah, it's cool. They've really turned it around when it comes to how they're communicating with the community and also delivering content. It's just been, as soon as you recover from one thing, they give you something else. It's been awesome. It's really good, man. They're on an awesome trajectory, and it's going to be cool to see what happens after Rayquaza, because they've just been pumping stuff out every single week.
This game is so much fun. I mean, if you're not playing, or you used to play, get back in there.
Especially if you played during the first year and then you kind of gave up on it. I mean, the game has really changed dramatically, especially in the last, maybe 6 or 8 months. So if you haven't played in over a year, it'll probably be worth just jumping back in just to check it out, because the mechanics of the game are so much better, and you have 3 generations of Pokemon to choose from now. Let's talk about the TCG. And Adam, I know that a couple weeks ago you went to an event and you dominated, you did well, and the train of product that we're always talking about, the train of the Pokemon TCG does not stop. So now Ultra Prism is kind of in full swing. There's been some pretty significant tournaments out there, and we'll talk about the North American International Championships in a minute, but Pokemon.com has been pumping out a bunch of landing pages talking about all the different decks and all the different cards, and it seems like they have a little bit more of a very high strategy approach that they're bringing through Pokemon.com. Now, I know they've always posted information about decks and cards and stuff, but it seems that they have a little bit more of a hardcore approach lately with how they're presenting the information. Do you get that vibe at all?
Yeah, they're promoting these like hardcore strategies that like you don't see unless you're actually at an event, like a high scaled event, you know?
And some of these decks that they're showing here, and I'll link to it in the descriptions, but it just seems like there's a lot going on in these decks that it's not entry level stuff that they're promoting, which I think is really cool because, you know, typically when you would think Pokemon, you might associate it with kids or casual, you know, things like that. And you have Pokemon.com pumping out pretty significantly core or hardcore even content. It's really cool. And because I don't have a lot of experience actually playing in, you know, a hyper competitive setting, I can take away a lot from these articles. So it's worth checking out. I think it's just very cool. Now, this kind of leads me into the next thing. North American International Championships. This is happening in Ohio. Now, I'm in New Jersey, so, I mean, Ohio is probably like 10 hours or something like that. Like, I could make a weekend out of this, right? So I considered it. And, you know, I talked to, you know, my wife, Melissa, her brother Kyle is big into the TCG now. And we're like, hey man, let's check it out. Let's look at tickets and stuff like that. And it's completely sold out for spectators. So it's really cool to see that these, you know, now it's on an international level because they've changed it from this national, you know, tournament format to an international format. So they've grown in size and they're selling out for spectators. I think that is exceptionally telling and very promising for the longevity and future of competitive TCG. And just makes me want to go to an event like this so much more because it's like these things sell out fast. It's just very telling. Like, have you ever been? Well, you went to a nationals once, right?
I've been to several nationals. Yeah.
See, I gotta experience that.
And it's like one of the best feelings. Like everybody's there for one thing, and that's to play Pokemon. Whether it be the card game, the video game, just to be there and like have drawings and like trade cards
and Pokken tournament now too.
Yeah, exactly. And even my last regionals that I went to, they had kiosks with all the TCG online. So like you could build your own decks and play against people right there.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. They've put out videos, kind of like these little 2 or 3 minute kind of vignettes about the different experiences that people are having, you know, in these international tournaments. So they have one from, you know, Australia, one from Europe, you know, and they put together one last year with the US. And you know, they really make an event out of it. You know, it's a complete experience. It's not just.
Yeah. My favorite experience from these events is going there and seeing all the vendors because they bring in all sorts of vendors. Oh, yeah. And they'll have, you know, all this product from Japan that like you don't normally see, but then it's all right there in front of you. It's awesome.
So these decks that they put up online, I remember you saying the last time you played, you went against the Necrozma deck, right?
Yes.
So they put a Duskmane Necrozma GX deck up, and I'm looking at this, and it's like a lot of the cards are from Ultra Prism. Like they have Force Cynthia, you know, that's a card that had come back in Ultra Prism. I'm looking at it and it's like, man, I need some cards. I need new cards. Like I haven't bought new stuff really in a bit. And it seems that a lot of the decks that I've seen in competitive play lately are really taking advantage of Ultra Prism.
Yeah. Or the Ultra Beast like Buzzwole.
My brother-in-law Kyle put together a Buzzwole deck and he bought the whole set of like 2017 World Championship decks just to have them as, you know, test decks and stuff like that. And I went up against his Buzzwole deck with, I think, a Gardevoir deck, a Volcanion deck, like a whole bunch. And he was just decimating me. Like I stood no chance even using these World Championship deck. And it's like, I love playing against him because I learned so much with just watching the flow. Now, when I'm watching YouTube videos, like if I'm watching Andrew Mahone or something like that, he does a good job of explaining everything step by step, but you don't really get that feeling of how things are flowing and moving in real time when you're listening to like an instructional video because it's very calculated. So seeing like all these series of events happen with, drawing and pulling and moving and retreating and recycling energy and, all that stuff happening in real time. It's awesome. Like, so just like you said before, if you haven't played Pokemon Go or you used to or whatever, pick it up again. I think now more than, at least any time in the past year or two since I've really been, back in the headspace of the TCG, it seems like now would be a real awesome time to get into it. And Melissa's brother Kyle, he's been a Pokemon fan his whole life, but he just got into competitive TCG less than a month or two ago. So it's like, it can be done. Like it seems so daunting.
Yeah. And there's tons of sites that, they say, they'll discuss decks on a budget.
Sure.
And so, even they'll have, go to the store and buy 3 of the structure decks for the Garchomp deck. And then you pretty much you'll have all your Cynthias, you'll have all your Garchomps and your Lucarios.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. And, that was one of the struggles that I'm having with my Volcanion deck that I'm trying to build out. I mean, Tapu Lele is still bringing, $40, $50 at retail or online. So it's like, I need two of them. And it's like, oh man, I've got spoiler alert, I've got a nice Guardians Rising booster right here that I'll be opening at the end of the show. So we'll see if we got a Tapu Lele in there.
And I've got an Ultra Prism, so.
Oh, well, maybe you'll get a full art Cynthia. That card is so awesome.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I'd keep it, honestly. I'd probably sell it just to get more packs.
Recycle the value. We're talking about the train not stopping, right? Now, this is cool. Now, I've never really looked into kind of how stuff lands in Japan before it comes to us. So the next set that's coming out, the next expansion beyond Ultra Prism is going to be called Forbidden Light. Have you looked at or seen anything with this yet?
I remember seeing a few cards. Poke Beach tweeted something, and I retweeted it and said, awesome new Prism Stars. I saw Victini Prism Star. I don't know what any of them do, but
they're all in Japanese.
Yeah,
no, but I'll link to it in the description. But there was an Yveltal card that's coming out, and it looks like they're really carrying on with this Ultra Prism style artwork, and that's one of the things that I like so much about the Ultra Prism set is that the art direction with that set is just phenomenal. They've really done a good job of blending, traditional art with the new style with, 3D work and stuff like that. So this Yveltal card, just the artwork looks commanding. It looks so awesome. And, some of those full art trainers, we talked about them last time, the full art trainers in the Ultra Prism set are just so awesome.
Its new GX attack, Death Count GX, for 1 dark energy, it says if your opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 4 damage counters on it.
Knock it out.
It is, it's knocked out. Like, what? That's so easy to get on anything.
Yeah, you could be really calculated with that, and
Yeah, even play either that with Greninja to like Water Shuriken or whatever that's called, and then that you discard a Water Energy and place damage counters or put damage counters, whatever.
Oh yeah,
or Decidueye GX.
What does Decidueye have?
I think it's Feather Arrow. I think it's...
Yes. You're right.
Yeah, so you just place a damage counter. So, I mean, you get 2 turns of that, and you're like...
Yep, there's the 4. That's awesome.
You can only use it once, so your whole strategy is done after that, but...
That's... it's funny, because I was watching a Andrew Mahone match, and he had like a fully stacked, it was fully prepped, full of energy, Buzzwole. The opponent brought out a Mew, and in 1 turn was able to mimic the previous attack from the Buzzwole, and it had no damage counters on it in the beginning of the round, and he was able to just turn around and knock it out in 1 shot. And it's like, I'm looking at that, and I'm like, the amount of time and strategy it took for him to prep that Buzzwole, with the strong energy or with, Choice Band, all this stuff stacked in, and then in 1 turn, it gets knocked out. So I looking at this move Death Count on the Yveltal GX, it's like, oh man, that would ruin someone's day.
Yes.
They have like a beefy card with like 230 hit points or something like that, and it goes from 40 hit point, 40 damage to, knocked out. It's painful. I'll link everything in the description. Check out these decks. So, it could be a good groundwork for you to get back into it, and I found that I felt myself being easily motivated if I had a list and I could say, oh, these are the cards I need to collect. These are the cards I need to acquire. And that, brought me a little bit closer to the whole collecting element of it. So take a list, find a deck that you think you like, and go after it. And, I'm finding a lot of fun in that because it's like a treasure hunt, going through boosters and all that good stuff. Let's jump over to the video game. The 2018 International Challenge for March is coming up. So, today is March 8th. So a week from now is when registration is going to open, March 15th. So after that, the following weekend, the 23rd through the 25th is the actual competition. Now, if you're interested in getting into competitive VGC, this is how you dip your toe in the water. So you play in these online tournaments. You're going to get 50 battle points just for participating. It has the different age brackets, just like if you were at a physical event. But if you're a top player, you earn championship points, and these championship points is the currency that you would need to qualify for a regional in VGC. So these simple tournaments through Global Link that they have are really your stepping stones into getting qualified for one of these regionals. So, it's a little bit different than the TCG. The TCG, no matter what, you're not playing the online game. You have to go to a physical space to earn the points that would bring you to regionals. Where with the video games, you could be in your underwear, sitting in your room, and earning actual championship points that can then help, get you to a regional. So it's a totally different style. And I think that's really cool and worth noting how, if you're serious about competitive, the TCG and the video game it's just completely different. You get two completely different styles of play and two different ways to really get involved at a competitive level. So that's pretty neat. March distribution is going on right now. Last month, they were giving out Pokemon at GameStop. This month, they are doing it through the Pokemon Trainer Club newsletter. If you have Sun or Ultra Sun registered with your account, you will get a Regigigas, and if you have Moon or Ultra Moon, you'll get Heatran. Now, check this situation out, and I'm totally bummed about this. So, I've had my Pokemon Trainer Club account for years and years and years. The email that I have associated with that account, I no longer have. I no longer have access to it. It was like a domain that I was paying for that I don't use anymore. No. So I don't have the email. Pokemon Trainer Club has no way to change the email associated with your account. I've opened multiple service tickets over multiple years, and they just can't do it. So I can't get the newsletter anymore because the email that's registered I don't have access to. So I can't get this distribution this month. Womp womp. I'm so bummed.
Wait, so they're not giving them out at GameStop?
No, they're sending the codes through the Pokemon Trainer Club emailed newsletter. That's how you get the codes.
Can you email Pokemon and just say, hey, can I have a code?
I would hope that it would be that easy, but probably not, because anytime I've emailed support, and like I said, it's been a bunch of times, in regards to this email, they shut me down like right away. They're just like, nope, sorry, nothing you could do. And then I wrote back going like, please, there's really nothing you could do. And they're like, nah, bro, like I said last time, there's nothing you could do about it. So it's like, I'm kind of bummed on that, but yeah, if you sign up for the newsletter, and it takes 2 seconds. If you have the Pokemon Trainer Club account, you just have to go into your settings and make sure you have the checkbox for receive newsletter. And so if you don't have that, you're not going to get it. And this is your only chance because it's not a store that's giving it out. But, 2 more legendaries, Regigigas and Heatran are out. So go get them if you're, if you're a Pokemon Trainer Club member. Sign up if you're not. What do you think of Detective Pikachu? What's your take on this whole situation?
I don't know. It looks interesting. I definitely, I don't know. I want to get it. But I think I want the amiibo more.
Oh, dude, the amiibo is awesome. And the amiibo is twice the size of a standard amiibo. It's so cool.
The amiibo is $30, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's $30, right? Yep.
Yeah, and then the game is $40.
It's like $70 investment.
Yeah, so it's like, do I get the game or do I get the amiibo?
Well, and I heard you could play through the game in 1 weekend. I heard it was pretty short. So apparently Japan got this game a year ago. So they're actually on, I guess what would be called part 2 right now in Japan. So this title that we're getting here in the US is actually what would essentially be parts 1 and 2. So we're getting both parts of this. But even with it being current with the amount of content that's available worldwide, it's still 7 or 8 hours from what I understand. So, and there's like an ultra easy mode too. Now, at first I was like, oh, dude, that's a bummer. You know, $40. It's like, you know, it doesn't seem like a good value. And then I'm thinking to myself, I don't have any time to play any games. This might be perfect for me. Cause you know,
exactly.
Because I could just, you know, pick it up and over the course of a month, just play an hour a weekend or something like that, an hour or two a weekend and accomplish getting through this game. I kind of got excited about it. I was like, I think this is a positive more than a negative. I can actually play through a game.
Yeah, it would feel nice to get through a game for once.
Oh, dude. It's my son just beat Breath of the Wild, and I don't know, he was, you know, had vacation from school a week ago, and I don't know, man. I think, you know, we let him run with it because he was just dominating and loving the game so much, but he probably put in like, I don't know, 30 hours in 1 week or something like that. And, he like pulled the Master Sword. He's got all the armor, and it's like, he felt so accomplished. And I'm like, I want that feeling. I want that. Right? I want that feeling. I have not played through a game in so long. I think Detective Pikachu might be the one, just so I could get through it and feel accomplished and give myself an attaboy, you know, pat myself on the back. But the game comes out on March 23rd. So it's like coming.
That's the weekend of Community Day.
It is the weekend of Community Day.
So it's like, do I buy this and play this instead of like, well, do you think I could complete it before?
No, dude. You know you're going to be full blown Pokemon Go mode. Now that I think about it too, but I don't necessarily need to get it on launch day. But
well, then I get a 6-hour drive. So
yeah.
I don't think I'll have time.
Yeah. Now, balancing out the weird factor of this Detective Pikachu game that's coming out is the Detective Pikachu movie that is going to be coming out not this year, but over 12 months from now in May of 2019. The live action Detective Pikachu movie is coming out. You know, that stars Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu, and Rita Ora just joined the cast. So they're starting to build, you know, a pretty significant American cast for this movie. I don't know, man. I am so cautiously optimistic about what this movie can be. I just wanted to make its money back so they would continue to experiment in this realm of making Pokemon movies, because I don't know. I don't know how this movie's going to do, or how it could do, or how it could be good, or how it could be bad. It's a spectacle that's probably, you're going to have to see it to even understand how they could possibly pull this off. Like, what do you think of this movie?
Well, I thought it was still just like a joke. Like, it wasn't really.
It's like serious. April Fools.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, okay, I get it. You want to make
I'm
going
to go see it, obviously.
But why over a year out from when the game is released? That's what's confusing to me. So it's like,
maybe they have a second game in the works.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be Detective Pikachu for the Switch or something like that. Who knows? But man, it just seems so strange that this movie is coming out, and 2 coming out over a year after the game comes out in the US. You know, and then it'll be over 2 years since it's been out in Japan. But I don't know. I love Ryan Reynolds, so I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm there with you.
You ready to spend some money at the Pokemon Center?
All right, let's go. Get your bag. Have your wallet ready.
No, it's, you know, we were talking about after the holiday is typically the slow time for Pokemon Center, where they're they recap their product from the year. They re-release, you know, best ofs. They put a focus on things that have come back into stock after the holiday. But the past 2 weeks, they have dropped so much new product on PokemonCenter.com, and cool, unique product, not just like, you know, the same kind of stuff, like, you know, cups or socks. They put out like this completely diverse lineup of stuff, and it's all very, very cool.
The pins, I'm like, oh my goodness, this year is the legendary year. And they produced Dialga and Palkia pins that are frickin' awesome.
They're like bronze. They're like monochromatic, and they just look very, very proper. Like they kind of look very formal. It's not, you know, the cartoony, you know, high color that we're used to, like from a pin box, or, you know, like they put out these sets of pins. One has like, the Larvitar line. You have one with Cosmog and Cosmion, but there are these popping high color, cartoony looking pins. And then you have the Dialga and Palkia ones. And it's like, oh man, that almost looks like you wear it on your lapel, like on a jacket, it's
and they have this whole section where it says coming soon. So you've got like the next one's just like GameStop, like we said, or not GameStop, but through the email. It's going to be Heatran and Regigigas. Yeah, so those are coming next. And then following that, we're going to have Lugia and Ho-Oh. And then Xerneas and Yveltal. And then Solgaleo and Lunala. Yeah, and then Latios and Latios. Oh my goodness. I'm so jazzed for these.
Well,
I don't care that they're $14.
Well, it's not bad because it's $14 for two. So it's, that's, if you were to buy a Disney pin could be anywhere from $7 to $15 for one. So you're getting, $14 for two pins. And these are, I love the art style. I just think it's awesome. Even the packaging looks cool.
I'd be really sad if I lost them though, because like they come as a pair. You can't just get them separately.
Well, then you got to buy two at once, and then you have backups. But no, they came out with a whole bunch of pins that were really cool. They did a 12-inch Greninja plush, which is really neat. And again, this is one of those plushes that doesn't typically take the form of your standard plush. It has, all these things jettisoned off of it that are, they make it more of like an action figure version in the plush format, which I thought was really cool. They came out with a red, the character red from figure pack from Figma. And I love Figma figures. I think they're really cool. I love the packaging, but they have this awesome, highly articulated red figure that comes with Pikachu and the 3 starters from Gen 1. And it is awesome. And it's $60. Now, we talked about the Giovanni Nendoroid last episode. That was, $50 for one small little figure. It came with the Mewtwo, whatever. But this is $60. You get 4 Pokemon and red. I don't know. I would probably have an easier way to digest purchasing something like this for $60 than purchasing even that Giovanni Mewtwo combo. It just seems like you're getting a little bit more, even though it's a completely different style. But there's like an action pose where they show Red kind of like about to throw a Pokeball at Charmander. And it's like, yeah, that's the pose I would put it in. It's so cool. It's very expressive. These figures are cool. And then finally, they released this, we've talked about the gallery figures before on the show where they came out with these like $16.99, static figures of Pokemon, but they had a really cool art style. And they had these bases that kind of depicted motion either from their Pokemon type or some kind of, background. It looked really cool. It was like the figure looked like it was in motion. Really neat.
Yeah, I thought they were attacks. They were just like attacking or something.
Yeah, that might be, they call them gallery figures, and it might be that because they all are like in the middle of something. So that makes complete sense. But they came out with what they're calling a DX figure, deluxe version. And they came out with a Charizard, which is like more than twice the size of the standard gallery figures. And this thing is awesome. It looks like an amiibo on steroids. It looks so cool. Translucent style base, which they carry through a lot of this figure line, in flames. And the tail is kind of the same thing. The flame on the tail is kind of this transparent plastic. Looks absolutely awesome, man. I think I'm going to go for this. And GameStop has been carrying these too. So it might, this might be worth,
it's Josh's favorite Pokemon.
Dude,
so
I know.
He'd probably be so excited if you got
I know. Anything Charizard. It's like, we just got the, I think it's like the 16-inch plush from Toys R Us. They had Toys R Us had a sale on Pokemon stuff last week. It was buy one, get one 40% off. Now, they jacked the price up on Pokemon cards, but the Pokemon plushes are typical prices. So we got a big Charizard plush and a Magikarp plush, which is, it's tough, of course. so awesome. But so he got this giant Charizard, which he's absolutely in love with. But yeah, he would, I gotta show him this figure. He'll definitely wig out when he sees this because it's just awesome. He just looks so tough. So cool. I feel like I need to go do like some side work to like earn some extra money so I could just blow it on Pokemon Center. So bad. I still have, I have a $10 credit, man. It's been burning a hole. Right,
so, well, hopefully I can open a Cynthia, sell it, and then get this.
There you go. Well, dude, Cynthia, you get like $70-$80 for her if it's full art.
Well, then I just gotta pull it.
All right, last thing let's talk about here before we get into the episode. Amazon Alexa and Google Home are now compatible with Pikachu Talk. And you try.
Now
you have this.
I just messed. I ran and just went to my Google and was like, "Hey Google, like open up Pikachu Talk or whatever." And then it's like, "Okay," and it's like, "Hey, here's Pikachu." And then it's like Pikachu starts talking. It's like Pika P, and then he's like,
"Yeah."
And then
like
Google starts saying,
you through a tutorial.
Yeah, it was like Pikachu says hi. Tell Pikachu say hi to Pikachu, and I'm like, Pikachu use Thunderbolt because that's what it said right there on the
article,
the splash page or whatever, and I do, and then it's like Pikachu,
he's like yawning.
As if it was as if it was sleeping, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, Google stop, and then it was like Pikachu, Pika, and started like getting mad. I'm like, oh my god!
It's like you walked back to the microphone and like it started yelling at you, and you're like, oh my god, it's yelling at me.
It's like Google stop.
That was super funny.
And Pikachu's voice just kept going.
Oh, it's so cool. It's like, I don't have a Google Home or an Alexa, mainly because I don't want to hear weird children laughing while I'm sleeping, but I don't know if you guys have heard about that in the news, but yeah, it seemed like a lot of fun. This came out in Europe and Japan, I think like maybe 3 months ago, and we were like, oh man, I wonder if this is going to come to the States. Well, here it is, and you have it right now if you have Amazon Alexa. Adam tried it for the first time just before, and like he just told the Alexa to open Pikachu Talk, and within 2 seconds he was talking to Pikachu. It was so cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a little bit more time and actually like try it. I'll probably play with it with my son in the morning.
Yeah, I'd imagine kids having a blast with that, trying to hold a conversation with just Pika as a response. It makes perfect sense.
What'd you do today, Pikachu? What's the weather like, Pikachu?
It's like, Dad, this thing really gets me.
Pikachu. What was that, Pikachu?
You know what? One little thing I want to squeak in before we get into the episode. One last thing, and this is relevant to the anime.
What are we squeezing in?
We are squeezing in the fact that they just announced the next season of the Pokemon the series, the actual anime. Sun and Moon Ultra Adventures. It's going to premiere March 24th on Disney XD. And the new season is coming out, man. It just keeps going. This is good for us because we have podcasts to go like 30 years now because there's so many episodes.
Well, at the rate we're recording, I mean.
Hey, man, we're 42 episodes in. There's 52 in the Indigo League, so we're almost there. Oh,
my goodness. We get to go to a new series?
I know.
I'm so excited.
It's like, I don't know what to do. Season 2 isn't on Netflix. It's like we're going to have to switch over to like Amazon's new Pokemon product. Did you hear about that?
Let's just. Amazon has a new Pokemon product?
Yeah, they're coming out with Prime TV, a Pokemon channel. And you pay like $3 a month, and then you get, it's bizarre. It's like seasons 2 through 8. Then there's a couple seasons it takes off, and then it's like seasons, 11 through 15, or something like that. It's bizarre. There's some ones that are kind of blacked out because I'm guessing they're, have deals with like other channels and stuff like that, like Netflix. But they have, I know it's season 2 through 5 or something like that. So that's where we would need to go to get what we need next. But I think it's something like 3 Pokemon movies a month, and they will rotate every month. So you'll get 3 movies plus all the episodes for $3 a month. So
that's not bad.
It's not bad, but who the heck wants an extra?
I know, I'm already doing Hulu.
Dude, it's so bad. It's like
Netflix.
I remember I had the conversation with Verizon like 2 years ago. I was like, hey, I'm cutting the cord. And it's like, here I am. It's like racking up all the charges because I have all these little ancillary fees and subscriptions. It's like, it's a trap. It's a poke trap.
Yeah, I have like the Dollar Shave Club or whatever. And I can't even use the, I have it set up for every other month, and I can't use the razors fast enough. So like I have like 3 just chilling out in the bathroom right now. So I'm like, just cancel.
Yeah.
Like we're good. We're good.
All right, let's get into this episode. The title is The Song of Jigglypuff. Dude, I was so ready for this episode. So a couple episodes ago, we were talking about the ketchup with Pikachu, and that was kind of an iconic thing. This episode also has this iconic element to it that we'll get to in a minute, but the original U.S. air date of the Song of Jigglypuff was February 20th, 1999.
Ooh.
I've been talking a lot of smack, saying that I need the party to get back on track. I need them to start doing gym battles. I need Ash to be concerned with his progression in the Pokemon League, and it hasn't happened because the show's been on these like ridiculous tangents for like 20 episodes. And then we have good episodes, we have bad episodes, and I'm like, it's bad, I wish they would get back on track. And then I'm like, it's good, so I'm okay, but I wish they would get back on track. And here we are again, off track with this episode. So I kind of went into it like, man, I just don't know if this episode is going to come through for me. I don't know if it's going to give me what I want. And probably within the first 5 minutes of the episode, I felt much better about it because it had a lot of humor and a lot of character right out of the gate. So
can I just say that the team goes from walking in a forest to the desert? I just don't understand it.
Dude, it's cartoon logic, man. It's cartoon logic. It's
vice versa. They go, I'm sorry, I just totally like ruined the whole episode. They go from the desert and then just randomly there's a town.
Yeah, but
then they leave in the forest.
Into the forest, right. And it's, they go from this hidden desert town to going through a forest, and they're almost ready to give up. They're like, Brock, you're killing us. Like, where the heck is this town? And when they go over the ridge, it's like, it's not a little town. It's not a little village like they've been going to. It's like this, it's pretty much modeled after Las Vegas. So you have this ridiculous, it's called Neon Town. So, and Brock knew about this all along. This is where he really wanted to take them. And this whole town is just filled with hustle and bustle. It's just like Vegas. There's lights everywhere.
The city never sleeps.
Yeah. There's gambling, there's, slot machine noises and all this kind of stuff going on. And I think I read somewhere, maybe on Bulbapedia, that in the original cut of this episode in Japan, there was a little bit more of a gambling element to it. And then they cut some of that stuff out for the US cut. But it's definitely modeled after Las Vegas. It just sounds like, if you've ever been to a casino, it just sounds like a casino. It's definitely Vegas. And they're walking down the strip and, they're kind of blown away. You got to remember that they're kids. Well, we don't know how old Brock is, but it's
10 years old, right?
Yeah. But Ash kind of gets like a reality check right away in the episode. Someone like bumps into him. It's like this greaser guy, and he's like, they start arguing. He's like, "Hey, stop bumping into me!" And then we get introduced to Officer.
Yeah, watch where you're walking.
We get introduced to Officer Jenny. I love the Officer Jenny, Nurse Joy, weird thing that goes on in these episodes. But this Officer Jenny is totally different, and she like pulls over in the motorcycle. She comes to a halt and just starts blacking out on Ash. Just like, what are you kids doing here? Like, get out of here. Find a hotel or something. Like, get off the streets. This place is rough. The guy's like, you're not worth it anyways. Yeah. The way that the episode was kind of introduced was cool because, they're down and out. They're looking for the city. And this is, we've seen this so many times in the first minute or two of all these episodes. Starts the same way, and they're just like, we're so hungry, we're so tired, where's this town? And then boom, there's the town. So I mean, that's starting to give me a little fatigue with like the beginning of these episodes. But once they get to town and you have all this hustle and bustle, it kind of fades away a bit. And I kind of, I got bought into the episode a little bit more after they're already in town. So not 2 seconds after this happens to Ash, where he gets like bumped into this guy, Team Rocket is on, of course they're on the tail of the party, but they're walking through town and the same dude bumps into James. But I guess because James isn't a kid, he starts like fist fighting with him right there and just starts like punching him in the head. And then like this giant behemoth Attack on Titan looking woman comes over and grabs Jessie and starts spanking her.
Jessie just walks into her. Yeah. And then she grabs her and she's just like, that hurt.
But she's like, she's huge. She's like 8 feet tall.
I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
I know. It was really strange, but
like if there's any scene in this episode, like that's the one. That's the scene.
Within minutes, the kids are kind of overwhelmed with all the madness that's going on. So they're like, look, let's cool off. Let's go for a walk. And they go back out to the woods and they're like, this is way more peaceful. now that there's no, lights and noises and all this stuff. And they stumble upon Jigglypuff, and everyone gets very excited. Now, I'd imagine if I were walking through the woods and stumbled upon a random Pokemon, yeah, I'd be very happy and very excited. But if I stumbled upon a Jigglypuff, I'd be super excited. It's like super cute.
Especially because it's something they haven't seen.
Right. So, but they recognize it, and right away, Misty's like, "Oh my God, this is a Jigglypuff. I'm going to catch it. I want this." And pulls out a Pokeball, wants to, I think she calls out Staryu, and Staryu full force does like a tackle move, puts the...
No.
What?
Psyduck comes out.
Oh my God, Psyduck.
Total troll. She's just like...
Psyduck does come out, gets yelled at. It's right, of course. Of course he does. Then Staryu comes out, tackles directly into Jigglypuff, and I mean, dude, Misty did not hold back. Like...
No, she gave it everything she had.
It's like this cute little Jigglypuff, and this Staryu just wrecks it just right in the face.
And it was just sitting there. Like Jigglypuff literally was just sitting there, and Staryu's like, "All right, I'm just gonna destroy you." Boom.
Yeah, but it's from this moment. This is where the plot of the episode develops. So we see Jigglypuff starts to cry, and it's really upset, and Misty's like, "Wait a second, something's not right. The Jigglypuff isn't fighting back. What's going on here?" And they try to like level with the Jigglypuff, and the Jigglypuff has like some sass, it's got like a little attitude, and it's puffing itself up, and it's just like, no, making little noises like that. And they try to cheer up Jigglypuff. They try to figure out what's going on, and they pull the Pokedex out. They get the information, and they talk about how a Jigglypuff song has the ability to put people to sleep. So they're like, all right, well, how about you sing for us? Why don't you sing us a song? And that's when Jigglypuff is kind of upset and a little bit fraught. And through a couple, Jigglypuff, conversations back and forth with Brock, they realize that this Jigglypuff can't sing. And Misty opens her mouth and is like, "Oh, Jigglypuff that can't sing. Who wants a Jigglypuff that can't sing?" And just,
mean.
So bad. And the Jigglypuff is like, "What?" And just starts completely tearing up. And it's like,
and well, Brock is like, "Well, I think there's some fruit in the tree."
Well, dude, Brock is the man. He
knows way too much about everything.
Well, he's like, "Why don't we help the Pokemon? Why don't we help it and try to figure out what we need to do to allow it to sing?" So yeah, Brock finds this fruit that's known to soothe your throat, soothe the sore throat. So he assumes the Jigglypuff has a sore throat, which was the right thing to do. He diagnosed it correctly. So once this Jigglypuff eats the fruit, it's able to, sing beautifully. And Team Rocket, spying on them from the distance, they're like, "This is it. This is our plan. We're going to steal Jigglypuff. We're going to make it sing for the entire town of Neon Town. We're going to put it all to sleep, and then we're going to steal everything."
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Team Rocket jumps in.
I love this part.
And they start singing instead of actually doing their regular motto.
Well, don't they say amazing. Something like forget the regular motto, like let's do this instead. And it's like a whole production, microphones on stands, like they go through this whole song. And,
James is like, "I'm the handsome one." And Jesse's like, "And I'm the gorgeous one." Yeah. Like, that's not what the lyrics are. But dude,
it's like they go through like a verse and then the chorus, and like you think they're done. And it's like, no, there's a second verse. Like they really sell it. And there's a really cool Easter egg in this part that I just learned about. So when they're doing it, they have like giant amplifiers and all this stuff. And they're like, turn it up. And they cut to like this little LCD screen, this digital screen, like a calculator screen almost. There's a sequence of numbers and codes that kind of go across this little screen. And from the first time I saw it, I was like, what is that? What is the relevance of that? So I Google it, right? I find someone's like personal blog that talks about Pokemon, which I never saw before. It's called Prepare for Trouble and Jesse Cuddles, that's the name of the blog. So it's like awesome. And apparently this code is relevant to, in Japan, the code would spell out Kojiro Musashi, who is the true character name in Japan of the James character. And I thought that was really cool. It's a little Easter egg. And then apparently in this blog, they mentioned that that code has been used before in other episodes, which I thought was totally cool. So it's just a little hidden Easter egg here. It's kind of a little, homage to, obviously this is the original cut from Japan, but I just thought it was cool that they snuck that in there. That was pretty neat. And, there's a whole blog page dedicated to it. Yeah. It's just something little.
And so, Team Rocket eventually sends out Weezing and, Arbok, and Ash decides to throw Bulbasaur out to help protect Jigglypuff. But Misty decides to follow up with Staryu and take them out.
Well, I think she was feeling guilty from smacking Jigglypuff in the face with Staryu. So it's like...
she has to, right? Once Team Rocket gets trumped, Misty gives Jigglypuff some vocal lessons, and Jigglypuff starts to sing, and...
Exactly what you think is going to happen happens. Everyone falls asleep.
Yeah, everybody falls asleep, and Jigglypuff is like, there's no wiggly to her jiggly. She gets so upset because everybody falls asleep. This is the
iconic moment, dude. This is the greatest thing ever. I love it so much.
Where she gets her microphone is actually a marker, and because everybody fell asleep, she just starts all over their
drawing
face.
On everyone's face, and that's the greatest thing. I love videos on YouTube or whatever of people that fall asleep at parties or whatever, and people Sharpie their faces. Oh man, dude, that's when I was my college years. That was a very common thing. If you were hanging out with us, you did not want to be the first one to fall asleep for sure. But it's awesome because
I can only imagine.
Dude, Jigglypuff really puffs up and she's mad. It's really funny. They animate it very, very well. I also like in this scene, Team Rocket, of course, because they're, after they got beat, they kind of, were out of the scene, but they were off in the distance, but still spying as they typically do. So they're like, look, if we're not going to be able to get close to this Jigglypuff, maybe we can just record it. So we'll record it singing and we'll play the recording in Neon Town and it'll, everything will be fine. Everything will be the same. And sure enough, when Jigglypuff is singing, Team Rocket falls asleep too. So after doodling all over Ash and the party's face, it goes over to Team Rocket, draws on Team Rocket's face, but not only does that, it completely smacks. It just smacks around Team Rocket real bad. Full blown, holding them by their collar, just slap,
double
slap.
Tap.
It's so good. And the animators got this off so well because it cuts from James, smack, to Jesse, smack. And then Meowth for good measure, smack. It's so funny. It's really good. It's really funny. But the party finally wakes up and everyone apologizes and Brock has the idea of hey, maybe it's a human thing. Maybe the humans can't stay awake. Why don't we try to sing for the Pokemon? Maybe the Pokemon can stay awake. So they pull out all the Pokemon. Onyx is there and Jigglypuff starts singing again. Jigglypuff, right? Everyone falls asleep again.
And the marker comes out again.
And the marker goes out. And then Misty has the great idea hey, what about Psyduck? He's too stupid to even know what's going on. He'll be able to stay awake. So Psyduck comes out. Jigglypuff sings. Now, of course, Psyduck is just sitting there with, googly eyes and his hands on his head because he's got a headache. And his eyes are wide open. The whole song goes through. Misty and them fall asleep, but when they come to, they're like, oh my God, Psyduck stayed awake. This is great. Jigglypuff, this is awesome.
But Jigglypuff is super upset. And they're like, why? And it's because Psyduck fell asleep with his eyes open.
It's the greatest, man. And Misty's just you're so useless. And just knocks him over. And even though his eyes are wide open, he just tips over. And it's just so good. I love Psyduck so much.
Yeah, he's such a trolly. I wish they called him Troll Duck. That would have been better.
That kind of fits for Golduck. I can see Golduck as a troll duck.
His evolution is Golduck, which is, I guess, a troll. So at this point, they have the idea. They're like, let's bring Jigglypuff to Neon Town because everybody's so angry because they never sleep that Jigglypuff can put them to sleep. And Team Rocket's like, that's exactly what our plan was.
It's perfect. Great. Thanks.
This works out. They look around for an outdoor stage and a giant truck pulls up that is an outdoor stage. A
mobile outdoor stage. It's how fitting. Who could possibly be driving this truck?
Team Rocket.
All right. I really like this part. Two reasons. It's Team Rocket, but they're in 80s style, like rock star outfits, right? And the truck that they're in kind of like folds open, and there's a full stage rig set up with like, guitar amps like stacked up. And James is like, yeah, turn it up to 11. And turning it up to 11 is like, I'm a guitarist and I've played in bands for years and years and years. And that's just like a consistent joke over the years of turning, when you want to play loud music, it's like, turn it up to 11. This is a reference to the movie Spinal Tap. And I don't know if anyone's seen it. I might be dating myself here, but it's an amazing satire movie about rock and roll that has a lot of celebrities and musicians in it. It's really funny. But there's like this real airhead guitarist in the band, and he's just like, yeah, this one goes louder. It goes up to 11. And he actually has a knob on his amp that it doesn't stop at 10. It actually goes up to 11. It's just really funny. So they make that reference, and it's like, yeah, all right, I appreciate that. The costumes that Team Rocket is wearing, like, A+. A+ on the costume design for Jesse and James here.
Jigglypuff at this point decides to sing for the entire town and puts everyone to sleep. Even Team Rocket, because they had earplugs.
Yeah, they put in earplugs, which is cool because it's not just an audio thing. This kind of made me think. I was like, well, maybe it's not just the fact that they're hearing Jigglypuff or not. This is, kind of this cosmic seismic thing that happens as part of a Pokemon's special attack power. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like is it a fairy type attack?
That's right.
Psychic type move. I paused this several times because I just wanted to like watch and see like what faces Jigglypuff draws.
It's so
good. She goes through the entire town.
So good.
And just draws all over every single person. And it's awesome.
But this is the best part. When everyone wakes up, they just start apologizing to each other and start being nice and caring and loving.
I'm sorry for being mean to you.
And it's like this.
Oh, no worries.
This is all because they haven't slept, because they've been up, partying and gambling, and now they took a nap and they all feel better. And it's like they start apologizing to each other, and they don't even realize that they have marker all over their faces. It's the greatest thing ever. Like they're completely like, Fu Manchu goatee on, and they're just like, I'm so sorry.
It's like,
it's so good. It's so funny. Even Team Rocket feels better when they wake up. They're kind of like, all in this positive mood. And
yeah, we haven't slept this good since.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And this is kind of the flavor of the day episode. This is the entire episode. That's it. It's like the town wakes up, everybody's happy, and, Ash and them is like, all right, guys, tally ho, on to the next town. So something weird happens. And it's like, the episode is over. But it's like, not, they get maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet outside of the town, and Jigglypuff chases after them and kind of jumps at Misty because it, is connected to Misty. And the narrator comes on and it's like, oh, it looks like Jigglypuff has some new friends or something. And it's like, I think Misty just got a new Pokemon. I can't tell yet, but it seems like that.
But did she really?
I think so. We'll have to wait.
We'll have to watch the next
You'll have
to
find out next week on. No, look, I'm the biggest hypocrite on earth because I keep saying they got to get back on track, but I thoroughly enjoyed this because Jigglypuff is just such an awesome character, and the whole drawing on the face thing, it's like I was laughing hard. Like when it first happened, and again, I haven't watched these episodes in over a decade. So seeing this again and watching this, it was like a full blown knee slap moment. I was like, dude, this is really funny. Like it was really good. And
yeah, like I said, I was pausing it when she did everyone just because I wanted to like study each face.
And it like she goes so fast, it looks like a time lapse. Like it's just like doodling on everyone's face. So good. But so we're left at another cliffhanger of we're leaving a town. We don't know where we're going next, but now they have another Pokemon with them. And
did they get Jigglypuff? Like we don't know. I don't know.
Look, if Misty has kept Psyduck around, I'm pretty sure she's going to keep Jigglypuff around.
Well, like, does she get... I don't even remember. Like, I feel like she doesn't have Jigglypuff.
All right, well, we'll have to...
I don't know.
We'll have to see what... See, that's awesome that you don't remember. See, I know what happens, so... But that's good. We'll have to see next week, but... What did you think of the episode? I mean, I keep talking smack, man. I like this episode a lot. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. I do want them to get back on track, but this was a good one. What do you think?
I enjoyed it because it's that iconic, the marker on the face. Like,
yes,
that's
right.
Jigglypuff and her microphone. Like, I have random, like, I don't know, reflective cards that have that Jigglypuff with the marker.
Yep.
And it's like, that's so iconic. Like, it's on some of the cards that are relatively recent. And it, like, so it plays it out in the actual card game, too. So it's like, I don't know. It's just so cool. I really enjoyed this episode. It's a staple for sure.
Yeah, it's just, dude, I don't know. I am getting very edgy though. Like, I do need some gym battles. I need some gym leader action in my life. I don't know. I'm starting to really miss it. I'm starting to really, really miss it. So hopefully they'll get their act together and get back on the path. I mean, there's only 10 episodes left of this season. So they're going to have to start tying up loose ends, pretty much with every episode from here on out, I'd imagine, because we're almost there. Almost there, man. I can't wait. On episode 50, man. Maybe we'll hold off on the episode 50 celebration and we'll do it on 52 since that's the end of the season.
Yeah. End of the season bash.
Yes. But I love the episode. I do want him to get back on track, but it was, it's really funny. It's really funny. Oh, I hear a booster.
Oh, I hear a booster.
So I've opened TCGO boosters the past 2 episodes, so I'm excited to get back to physical booster here. And like I said,
I've had this booster just teasing me for the past 2 weeks that we haven't been able to record, so I'm gonna open mine.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do it.
Ultra Prism.
I'm gonna do it. Ultra Prism. Come on. Papa wants a new pair of Cynthia full arts. Okay, did I get it? I got a Shanks, a Passimian, Hippopotas, Baneri, Cherubi, Groddle. Oh, I got a Cynthia, but it's just a regular trainer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's actually like, I'm going to set that aside because that's actually really good. I got a Manaphy, a reverse hollow Araquanid, and a rare Abomasnow.
Okay.
But it was still a good pack.
You got some functional cards,
Cynthia.
Yeah.
That Cynthia is definitely, that made the pack worth it. It was worth the wait. Now I have 4.
Nice. All right. I have a Guardians Rising booster, and as you know from the past couple episodes, I'm just hunting for Tapu Leles here, so wish me luck. Fletchinder, Sliggoo, Beware, Beldum, Helioptile, Phantump, Stuffle, Whalmer. My reverse is a Heliolisk, and my rare, a hollow Absol. Cool card, but not a Lele.
Oh man, as soon as you said Heliolisk, I'm like, yeah, it can't be good.
Yeah, man. One of these days I'll pull that Lele. There's no way I'm paying $40 for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because we're buying packs every once in a while, and it's like, do I just outright buy the card for $6 or $7? You know what I mean?
Well, that's easier to swallow when you're buying a $6 card, but when it's $40, it's like, ugh.
Well, yeah. Okay, you're right.
That's like an entire Elite Trainer box. You can get pretty much for between $25 and $30. And it's like one card is $40, where you can get, a box, sleeves, dice, coins, GX token, and 8 boosters for the same. Whew. I don't know.
Yeah, see, well, like, I went back and I was looking through the sets and seeing like what cards were in them, and I totally spaced that like Burning Shadows, as awful as a set it is, like there were some seriously good cards to pull.
Isn't Guzma from Burning Shadows?
Yeah, so there's Full Art Guzma, there's Hyper Rare Charizard, and Gold Choice Bands. So
yes, yep.
I walked into GameStop and I was like, I'm just they only had 4 packs. I'm like, I'm just buying them. They were all going to be Insta Boosters, so follow along on Insta Boosters on our Instagram.
Nice.
Because I did get something good.
You did, dude. You had a solid pull.
Well, you don't know about it. It's not there yet.
Well, what about the one from the other day? You got a good pull?
That was my box. I was still going through my box. But I have a few packs that I opened, and I have them all recorded and ready to go.
Nice.
So all the codes go to you guys, but yeah, it's worth waiting for it.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for the show. Check out GottaWatchEmAll.com for everything that we do. It has links to all our shows. For Community Day, Pokemon Go, we will have a new vlog up, so check that out. We're hoping to do some more TCG stuff. When Adam comes to Jersey, we should definitely film some TCG games. I think we should figure out a way to do that. That would be cool since we don't have the opportunity very often to be in the same room at the same time. I think we should take advantage of that and put out some TCG content. But check out Gotta Watch 'Em All. All the links are there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We would really appreciate that. And leave us a review in iTunes. That's going to help us out significantly. We do have a new email address, info@gottawatchemall.com. Email us. Let us know your thoughts on the show. Have any questions, comments, concerns, send them over. We'd love to give you a shout out on the show and get the community more involved with what we're doing. Yeah, that's about it. GottaWatchEmAll.com. Oh, we have a Patreon now. We're going to be,
go support us.
Yeah,
please.
We're going to start promoting this, pretty significantly in the coming weeks, but we have a very basic Patreon that we had set up with some significantly modest goals. So we're just looking to get our feet wet with community support, and we'd appreciate it if you were to come along with us on this journey with us. So check that out. It's patreon.com/GottaWatchEmAll. I'll link to that in the description as well. But, I'm Proud Gamer Tweet on Twitter. Adam, where can they find you online?
At Phoenix Back to the Fire.
And we are Gotta Watch 'Em All. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll see everyone next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Later. Peace.
Jigglypuff,
Oh, you're gonna put me to sleep.